arrived myself, so I'm still getting ready. Ah, and Kale just passed by a moment ago. She said she had some things to sort out at the inn where she's staying, but she'll meet up with us when she's done. Apparently, Tainari and Sino both went out, but she stayed behind because she wanted to help us. Not too bad. After reviewing it again with fresh eyes, I came up with a new theory which seems to hold some water. I'll attempt to explain it as simply as I can. I believe that each of the 4 things in the prophecy refers to a different field of knowledge. So, in a way, the prophecy is a test of the reader's intelligence. But it's unlikely for any one person to have expertise in all these different areas. So I suggest that we seek out one expert from each and get their opinion. Also, in 2 out of the 4 areas, the prophecy seems to want us to find specific people. It may even turn out that the people themselves are the answers.
So it sounds like we should put our heads together and list out the people who can help us.
Exactly. I think we can go through each riddle in turn and generate 4 groups of names to match the 4 questions.
Alright, then let's start from group 1. The first riddle was, a flower that is not of this world.
Personally, I would still go with Albedo for this one. Alchemy is the most likely to have to do with otherworldly things, and he is by far the leading expert in this regard.
Exactly! You're the creator of the Tetratanic sweet flower. Who knows? Maybe that's the flower we're looking for.
Huh? You really think so?
Oh, but what about Tainari? He's a forest watcher and knows all about plants. If it's a flower we're looking for, maybe he's the man for the job.
Alright, I'll add him to the list as well. On to group 2. This subject is a guide who will never get lost.
That's kind of abstract. Does it just mean someone who never loses their way?
Wait, but they have to be able to guide others too, so it's not quite as simple as that.
Oh, you mean Mona? Yeah, she definitely counts.
Mona. Yes, she certainly seems very confident, and she can use her astrology to guide people.
Would Bennett count? Well, his luck's so bad that as long as you go in the opposite direction from him, you'll always be going the right way, right?
I see. I suppose I can't argue with that logic.
Add him to the list. Finding everyone won't take long, so one extra person won't hurt.
I know. Would Outrider Amber be a valid candidate for this category as well?
Yeah, she would! She's got a great sense of direction after all. As a matter of fact, when the Traveler and Paimon first came to Mondstadt, she was actually the one who gave us directions.
Yes, she's certainly a good guide.
Is there anyone else?
Let me think. Yes, I believe there may be one more. Albedo once made a set of equipment for Mika from the reconnaissance company. He's their surveyor and an exceptional pathfinder. He's even instructed others in the discipline of surveying before. So, in my view, he's highly unlikely to lose his way and would be very good at helping others find theirs.
Cool! Another one for our list!
Wait, Kale should have been here by now. Wonder what's taking her so long. Sorry, could we continue our chat somewhere else?
Oh, you wanna go see how she's doing, right? Sure, let's all go.
Hi, Kale. Hope we're not intruding or anything. Is everything okay?
Sucrose! I was preparing some stuff. Is it time already? Oh no, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, the Traveler and I only just met up. We were just worried that you might get lost along the way, so we thought that we'd come get you.
Thank you. I'm ready to join you now. How's that thing going?
So let's pick up where we left off.
Next up is the third line. One who would never lie. You really think so? Seems like it would be pretty difficult for someone in his position to avoid having to lie. Then what about Kaya? He's the cavalry captain and a rather popular figure, but... You think there's something fishy about him too, huh? Yeah, he's definitely a sneaky one. Bet he lies all the time. I can't help but agree with you there. There's the tone-deaf bard. But on second thought, he wouldn't qualify either. He talks way too much nonsense. Is there anyone else we're missing?
Acting Grandmaster Jean? She has a good name in that regard, but from what I know, she sometimes covers up the truth out of concern for those around her. For example, when Lisa loses track of time in the library and misses her patrol shift, Jean will come up with some excuse, like Lisa's ill today. Also, she sometimes makes up stories to get Klee to behave, like the one about the big monster that comes to catch naughty kids who don't go to bed on time. Do you think that rules her out?
White lies are still lies, but do we really have to reject her because of some harmless fibs? It's not like she had evil intentions. No, we're the ones being strict.
Rosaria doesn't strike me as the type of person to lie. Oh, Kale, you probably haven't met her yet, have you? She's a sister from the church who looks, a little scary and not very sociable. She stopped by the alchemy bench once, a long time ago, and asked me about Albedo. I thought maybe she was trying to find him, for work or something, but when I asked, she just said that she was curious about him because he was so intelligent, and wanted to talk to his assistant to find out what he was like. A lot of people might have given a more tactful justification, but I could see in her face that she wasn't trying to hide anything. She was just very direct and straightforward. That's why I don't think of her as the lying type.
Rosaria doesn't look like the sort of person you'd want to get into a fight with. Maybe she just fights her way out of situations that some people might lie to get out of.
I can definitely see that. I've also heard the other sisters say that Rosaria doesn't even make excuses when she skips choir. She just doesn't show up.
She's a tough cookie, huh? Let's put her name down. In that case, I think Sinal fits in this list too. True. Lying's probably more trouble than it's worth for someone like him. Kinda like with Rosaria. Oh, and Paimon also nominates Razor. Bet he couldn't lie to save his life.
I've also got someone else in mind. Noelle, the trainee knight. She's a very honest person. I don't think she'd tell a lie.
Alrighty, write her name down too.
Wait, there's one more person. You know, our long-standing staffer at the alchemy bench.
Huh? You mean Timaeus?
Yes, him. Truth be told, he's been love-struck recently. He swore that he wouldn't say a dishonest word or slack off until he succeeds in getting the woman he loves.
Timaeus has a crush?
Yes, that's right.
Well, who is it? Do you know her?
I've never met her. All I know is that she's from Liyue. Timaeus says that she's fun, has a great personality, and is very, very good looking. Since we're on the topic, helping Timaeus win the lady of his dreams was also one of my goals for this Windbloom Festival.
But how can we help with that?
I don't know. Make sure he uses nice paper and a fancy envelope when he sends letters to her. Help him pick a nice gift and wrap it properly. That sort of thing.
Yeah. I had the same situation once in the Avidia Forest. I helped another forest ranger out by delivering a love letter to the coworker she likes.
Yep, that sort of thing exactly. Oh, also, I helped him with some of the groundwork for one of his research projects. He must have appreciated it, because he gave me a refrigeration device that he's been developing as a thank you gift.
Is it any good?
I mean, it looks nice.
Sounds like a no. Alright, guess we'll put Loverboy down on the list then.
Okay, so last of all, we have a legend that never ends. Anyone come to mind for this particular line?
Lisa, perhaps? A librarian understands books best, and aren't most legends written down somewhere?
When I think about legends, fairy tales and picture books come to mind.
Maybe Kale. She read a lot of fairy tales when Tainari was teaching her to read.
Oh,
Do I count?
of course you do. I'll put you on the list. I prefer to read things like an illustrated analysis of alchemical substances and their uses, the fascinating principles of crafting, and hypotheses of life.
Point taken. Paimon didn't quite understand any of those.
Klee might be a good choice. Her mother, Alice, is a renowned traveling author, so I'll bet she's been exposed to all sorts of myths and legends.
Alright then, Klee makes the short list.
Well, that should just about do it. Next up, we should go and ask the people on the list about the prophecy.
Do we have to ask absolutely everyone on the list? It seems like a lot of people.
It is. So, I was thinking that perhaps we should split up. That might make our search more effective.
Okie dokie.
Also, I've thought of a method of gathering feedback.
No problem, we can do that.
You and the Traveler are practically joined at the hip, so you two can go together. I'll pair up with Kale.
Capable Kale and sensible Sucrose. Sounds like a winning combination. Okay, I promise I'll help. Capable Kale. Yeah, I got this. Rest assured that the unbeatable Traveler and Paimon will do our part too. Off we go.
I plan on starting from the person with the most defined stronghold. So let's go to the library. Lisa should be there.
Stronghold. That's an, interesting word to use.
Maybe den? No, that's even worse.
How about layer?
Here we are, Lisa's lair.
Oh no, that was a bad word choice. And now Sucrose is using it. It's all my fault.
Lisa, might I ask if... Huh?
Sucrose. Kale. What are you doing here?
I can only sucrose that they were Kale-ing on someone. At least that's as far as I know.
Oh, please, just stop it with these puns. I beg you. Are you trying to win worldwide fame for unfunny jokes?
Is Lisa not here at the moment?
Surprising, isn't it? She went out. I'm afraid it's just us here looking for information.
Except me. I'm not here for information. Like you, I came here for an abortive search for the librarian, who is also my academia senior.
Oh, so you studied in the same darshan as Lisa?
That's right. Her mentor in Sumeru was also my benefactor. We were both Spontamod students.
Wow, Wait, we're getting sidetracked. We came here to look for some information. Kale and I are investigating a prophecy, and we were hoping you all might be able to help.
Oh? What sort of prophecy?
I see. You want to ask them about the flower that is not of this world, and me about the one who would never lie.
But there's no rush. You don't need to answer right away. We're just here to tell you about the situation. You can take your time to think it over and submit any thoughts you have in written form to the Sucrose mailbox.
The Sucrose mailbox?
Yep. I was thinking about it on the way. And although they seem like trick questions, there's a lot to mull over once you get down to the details. A quick answer off the top of your head might not go into enough depth. So, I decided to place a mailbox next to the alchemy crafting table. Everyone can submit their written answers there when they're ready. We don't have to call it the Sucrose mailbox, though. It could just as well be called the Sucrose and Kale mailbox. Or even the Sucrose, Kale, Traveler, and Paimon mailbox.
I think in this case, we can just go with your quick answer off the top of your head.
Sounds like a good solution. Certainly more reliable than verbal discussion alone.
Agreed. Certainly when it comes to discerning whether someone is a liar or not, you cannot simply take them at their word.
Understood. Once we've had a look into it, we'll place our replies into your mailbox.
Thank you all so much. Okay, let's tick them off the list and carry on working our way down.
Already done.
I'm pleasantly surprised to see those two introverts getting along so well.
Do you get the feeling that Kale's return to Mondstadt has emboldened her more contrarian side?
Yes, I'd noticed that too.
Traveling and meeting old friends are both good for the body and soul. And isn't rediscovering one's youth while revisiting old haunts a worthwhile pursuit?
When I first met Kale, she'd never known happiness or youth. But things are different now. Her Elazar being cured was a huge milestone in her life.
Kale is a very sensitive and introverted child. I'm sure you must have noticed that too, Albedo. From the time she's been in my care, I've observed that she's actually a very lively character by nature. But she had a very rough start in life.
Goods, what's up? Tagal na.
Might I assume
Nangyari
the
sa'yo?
prospective claims of looking for plants and
Been a
artifacts
while.
in Mondstadt were just pretexts?
Yeah, same mushroom for me.
Both Kale and
Medyo na-busy na rin, so hindi na consistent in streaming.
Would it really
Naghahabol ngayon sa Genshin Impact.
situation?
Fine. Yes, we came out of concern for Kale. She's
Kaya naman tayo last usap. Dun sa yung crisis time, di ba? Ang sabi nun, yung Game Pass. Kamusta yung Game Pass? Na sulit ba?
Well, it won't hurt to give her some more time. I believe that Sucrose might be able to help her.
Sounds like an extension of your own self-confidence as your teacher.
You could say that. In a similar vein, I've heard that Sumeru scholars often build their social relationships based on their academic ones. Is that true?
I suppose it might look like that from your perspective. Sumeru society is something of a special case. The reason it is known as the City of Learning is because all of its resources are in some way linked to academia. As such, academic resources equate to social capital. It is not unheard of, for example, for people to build a family in order to pursue further studies. But the relationship between the three of us is not an academic one turned social. We've never even worked on a paper together for starters.
Oh, so the academic paper is the nexus of the academic family. Interesting.
I would think of us more as siblings. An equal and pure relationship, unaffected by academic considerations.
As much as I'd prefer not to admit it, that statement is not inaccurate.
I can understand that position. I have a younger sister myself, and it's only natural for me to be protective of her. What you described fits the idea of a city of learning, as I imagine it. The family is where all overall social relations.
Ano meaning mo na volume is down? Yung voice ko mahina or hindi mo lang na-on yung volume?
May actually be more stable.
No, ang sabi ko is, kamusta yung Game Pass? Diba, sabi mo, lalaruin mo yung, what you call that?
Down this rabbit hole, please.
Wow, namnesia ako. Yung zombie game.
Of age,
Di ba may yung ano, yung
he just
yung
doesn't
Game Pass, tapos yung Ion State of Decay.
Younger than that.
Tapos mo ba ever?
Say even by enough to be the youngest sibling. Perhaps I could bring Kale into this happy family to be your elder sister.
No. You will never see me admit to being the youngest sibling. Except perhaps as a last-ditch effort to turn the tables in a game of cards.
Guess we'll leave Kali and Sucrose to it. Fingers crossed all goes well for them. Now then, where should we go first? Let's try our luck at the bulletin board, shall we? A lot of people tend to show up there at some point in the day. Maybe we'll get lucky.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, kasi medyo taka lang ako kasi according dito sa OBS ko, it says here yung volume pickup ko is optimal, nasa yellow bar. Okay naman.
Nice, just as we hoped.
I see. So, sulit max ba? Xbox Pass?
Even Lisa's
Ano lang yun, di ba? 1 month man or something?
Hey there, Traveler and Paimon. It's been a while. How have you been?
Yeah, pero do you remember I said na after mo ma-avail, if you did not renew yung subscription, they will take it off.
Teacher is not at the usual place.
Oh, please. It's not as if I'm glued to my chair. I like to get out for a little
Still in AuroPay?
Mika's
Okay.
here today, so I thought it'd be a good time to introduce
Sabagay, kano ulit yun? $1 lang or something, right?
about quite often, so it's helpful for them to get to know one another.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mika.
May natapos ka ba so far?
I
Medyo na busy na rin tayo.
No need to be so formal. We've known them for ages. They're cool.
Windbloom. Fun?
Actually, we haven't gotten to the fun part yet. We've been busy investigating a prophecy.
A prophecy? What kind?
A good one or a bad one?
Gosh, that all sounds quite fascinating.
I can't believe I made it onto your list of names. You really think I'll be able to help?
Believe in yourself. Right. Believe in yourself. You're a first-rate adventurer, Bennett.
First month, $1, succeeding $2.
Present my thoughts on the matter.
Oh, okay.
Except I forgot I'm not really good at organizing my thoughts. Oops.
Oh, there's a
Well, as long as kamusta naman gaming schedule, may...
put a mailbox next
Kasi para masulit max yan.
Just write down your thoughts when
Ang understanding ko, may games na nawawala eh.
A meticulous and efficient plan.
Oh yeah, there it
That
is.
sounds like sucrose.
I will think also. Give
Yeah, because as far as I know, I could be wrong, baka ibang pass yun.
To go see, right?
I remember na meron games na nawawala sa cycle.
About us. We'll drop off our letters at the mailbox as soon as we're done.
Okay, bye for now.
Yeah, better off na may, matapos agad before it goes, right?
And even if we don't find any familiar faces, you can see really far from up at the top. Maybe we can find people that way.
Aw, you're working so hard. Do be sure to get some rest when you can. If you get tired, you know you're always welcome to visit me for a break and a cup of tea.
Where to next? Let me check my notes.
Huh, this way.
Got it. Kale, please follow me.
Yep. Saan ka na sa campaign ng State of Decay? Ilang percent in na? ba? Apoy na. Tsaka multiplayer yun ah. Sino kasabay mo?
It's our lucky day.
Solo flight lang?
There's several people over there.
Amber? Wow! And Eula's with her too!
AB? Ano yun?
Oh, it's Sucrose! And Klee also spies! The girl with the long scarf!
Kale, we were just talking about you. Ah, right. I don't think you've been introduced to
Nako! Yun yung delikado pa.
Maid of the Knights of Favonius.
Sobrang dami.
Nice to meet you, Kale. I missed you the last few times you were in Mondstadt, so
Pero nagawa mo ba yung ano?
you in person.
Yung list? Na-list mo ba?
Nice
Game plan?
to meet you too, Noelle. My name is Kale. But you already knew that.
Relax, you two. There's no need to be so courteous. We're not on some kind of diplomatic mission here.
Klee, what are you doing here? Are you planning to blast some fish?
Nope. Klee's on patrol with the other knights.
Huh.
First list? Game list.
It looks like everyone here's a Knight of Favonius except for Kale and me.
Yeah, yun yung last memory ko, di ba? Nag-usap tayo about sa...
It's still a surprise.
Nung naglalaro ako ng Crisis, sabi ko, usually what I do is, pag nag-start ako ng game, I put it on a list.
Maybe a video forest. Train.
Gets mo?
It means
So every time I look at it, alam mo kung ano yung game na sinimulan mo,
I'm still learning.
pero di mo pa natapos.
You're just like me. I'm still working towards becoming a fully qualified knight.
So ang goal mo is you try and finish the game within the month. Yun yung challenge.
This isn't a very formal patrol.
Ayun na, patay.
Don't panic, Kale. Just pick a topic and join the conversation. Don't panic. Whatever you do, don't panic.
Well, ang selling point ng Hitman is
Nervous?
it's you don't need to follow yung suggestion nila.
About the new guests.
If you can kill yung target mo, you can kill the mark
Folks from Sumeru have come to
with
visit.
your own unique idea,
Few nice surprises.
go for it.
Amber,
Yeah, I remember may mga Hitman
sorry.
scenarios na
At least I didn't say anything about
first few minutes ng game, accidentally napatay ko yung mark.
How am I supposed to join
Then,
this
tapos na kagad.
What do I say to that?
Speaking of nice surprises, we've actually had a fairly big one recently.
What kind of surprise?
Meron pa nga doon may boss sequence, ang dami-daming ek-ek, animation, pagkatapos ng animation, binaril mo lang sa no, then tapos na.
Follow on from what she's already started talking about.
Yun ang maganda sa Hitman eh. It's like kalokohan lang yung magana.
What an interesting prophecy. I have no idea what the answers could be, though.
So essentially, you're gathering information to help you solve the riddles, correct? I'll do my best to help.
Thank you so much, Eula.
Anytime.
There's no need to answer right away. We'll put a mailbox next to the crafting bench for people to drop us a note once they've thought of something.
I'll drop something in there for sure.
Nice idea. I think we can all commit to writing a note. We'll see what we can come up with. Yep, don't worry. You can count on us. But we do have to finish our patrol first.
What route are you
Yeah.
taking today?
We started in the Stormbearer Mountains and we'll end at the city gates. You'd be very welcome to join us, but
Yeah, di ba? Like sabi ko before, think of it as your chance to try something different. Medyo change mo yung decision-making style mo.
With you after we're done working through this prophecy.
Oh, yeah. So, we'll be on our way for now.
See you later. Have a safe trip back. Are you okay, Kale?
Was it that obvious?
No, not at all. It just looked like you had something on your mind.
So that means it was obvious.
Whatever's bothering
Stage may be linear, freedom gave me so overwhelming that one point.
happy to help. Thanks, Sucrose. Well, the truth is, I don't really know how to act around Amber and the others. Really? I thought you two were good friends.
Just hit them all to their outfits. Oh shit. Yeah.
Really important friend to me.
Medyo delikado na nga naman yun.
If I'm being completely honest, the problem's probably with me. The first time I came to Mondstadt, I was really immature. I didn't really let people
Outfits.
in, and I was generally pretty
Oops,
awkward
sorry.
to everyone. Amber was the one person who didn't give up on me, and if it wasn't for her persistence,
May achievement ba pag
I
nasot?
wasn't a friend at all. Without Amber, I might not even be here today. And because of that, I really look up to her. I think of her as my role model, and hoped that maybe one day I could learn to be like her. But after trying and
Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of
I think I finally realized
zombie games, kita mo na recent trailer, Dead Island 2.
Looking back, it seems silly that I ever thought like that. We're nothing alike at all. My personality's so weird. I always get so anxious and I overthink everything. Oh, Kale, don't say that. Sucrose?
Yeah, this guy's
Would it be okay
aware.
if I told you a bit about my past?
May delay ba yung stream ko? Parang super offset yung responses, but what do you call that? Camo disguises. Yeah. Oof, kung may delay
I already knew bits and pieces about her, but still, why did she have to go through all that? I'm sorry. We've only just met and I'm already dumping all of this on you. This is why I get so frustrated at
Okay.
myself.
Yeah, just making sure. Kasi minsan,
I get into a
it happened before na sa akin where for some reason yung chat ko is like 5 seconds apart. Turns out to may glitch yung server.
I'm really glad that you're willing to tell me all this. People don't open up about their deepest feelings unless they really trust the other person. Don't you think? At least, I think it's kind of an honor. And, I mean, you've probably noticed by now, but I don't have the best social skills either. I always just end up talking about the things I'm interested in, and going on
Team account now.
and on. But even so, you still listen to me when I talk my head off about alchemy. It's a relief to listen to you talking about yourself for once. If you hadn't told me all of those things,
About 10 seconds, try again. If you're hearing my voice right now, this is
I feel like we're
current
very similar
delay.
people. Really? Yeah. Everyone has their own problems to deal with. I certainly do. All the feelings that you talked about just now, I totally get it. It takes so much more effort for us introverts to fit into a crowd. When you were saying about how you try to think about what to say in advance, and you're constantly terrified of saying the wrong thing and making things awkward, I relate to that so much. Oh, and also that part about studying under a genius. In fact, before meeting you, I'd never met anyone who seemed so similar to myself. Oh. I'm not very good at giving words of comfort or anything, and I'm not gonna tell you to just get over it or stop worrying about it. How about we just sit here for a little while? We don't have to force a conversation if we can't think of anything. We can just sit here together.
Ah, okay.
Sucrose is
Got you.
talking, but for some reason, this doesn't feel awkward at all. Maybe
Yeah,
he's
because the moment I see nagpop up yung message mo sa chat window ko, that's the time I reply.
a quiet place to just sit and watch the scenery.
On voice.
By myself. I never thought there'd be a day when I could do this with someone else by my side. Mondstadt's breeze is so gentle and soft. Hey, Kale. See that cloud over there? Doesn't it look like One of my test tubes?
I don't think so. Sorry.
Then maybe we're not quite on the same wavelength on everything. At least, not when it comes to looking at clouds in the sky.
Thank you, Sucrose. I feel much better after talking to you.
Yeah, it helps a lot, doesn't it? I also vent to my flasks sometimes. The next time I get the chance, I have to show you my Tetratanic Sweet Flower and my Tetratanic Windbloom.
Your Tetra... what?
Two of my favorite things I've made. They're really
What do you mean?
cool. I think you might like them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll definitely have to show them to me sometime.
I brought some crackers with me. You want one? There's cheese flavor or tomato flavor.
Sure. I'll try the cheese one.
Aw, look! They're enjoying the scenery together. Shall we go play with them? No, it's fine. Let them sit for a while. We're not what Colleen needs right now. She needs a new friend. Someone different who's never met her before.
I don't get it. Is there a difference?
There is. You'll understand once you're a little older, Klee. People can draw different kinds of strength from different kinds of friends. And right now, Colleen needs someone that's just not the same old me.
Haven't played a bunch for a while. Indulged with a lot of white Teyvats. What kind? Oh. Yeah, for a time nung nag-disappear ka, I was planning on trying in Destiny 2 na campaign para sa Witch Queen, pero when I checked, it turns out na sumingaw na pala yung free periods, kaya sayang. We missed it by about 2 days, 3 days.
Who's that yelling? Let's hurry and take a look.
Saw this one clip talking about in-game NPC was some AI. Yeah, I agree. I think I saw some kind of something similar then. And honestly, myself, I can't wait. I like yung feeling na very natural yung AI.
Question. What kind of a
That's
monster
NPCs.
is this?
It's been a while, traveler.
You two are looking pretty good. I trust you've been well.
Yep, we're definitely faring a lot better than this poor guy on the ground.
Hey, please don't rub salt in my wound. I really have been trying my best.
Oh, you're one to talk. If this sister hadn't grabbed you in time, then you would have been seriously hurt, if not dead.
I know. I really am grateful, miss. I can't...
Nako, medyo ibang direction yun. Pero yeah, gets go the applications.
Quite literally.
Quote unquote.
Had she not lent him a hand and pulled him up, he would have gone tumbling down the cliffside.
What happened? Did Timaeus almost fall off the cliff?
Well, so what actually happened was I came to Star Snatch Cliff today to pick some flowers and ran into Mona on the way. She took a look at her scry glass and advised me to turn back because it would be dangerous.
But you still came up here anyway?
Well, yes, I did, because there's something I just had to do.
Oh, I hardly think giving flowers to your crush is worth throwing one's life away for.
It's rare to run into someone with a death wish in this area.
I don't have a death wish. I just didn't think it would really come true. I mean, when Mona said it would be dangerous, I thought I'd be fine as long as I watched my step cautiously. I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong. I'm telling you, I'm just here chasing the love of my life. Love-struck Mondstadters is what the Windbloom Festival's all about.
Okay, that explains you. But why is Rosaria here?
I was looking for a quiet place to escape the crowds. I wasn't planning on having to save a life along the way.
So that's why the scryglass just showed danger instead of fatal danger.
Very funny. Anyway, Traveler and Paimon, what brings the two of you to Star Snatch Cliff?
Just trying our luck. We've got a lot of people we need to see today, so we've been all over the place. Actually, you're some of the people we were looking for.
Huh?
I mean, yeah.
I see. So
Imagine mo na lang yun, no? Kung yun nga, kahit yung mga AI NPC mo, every gameplay ng tao, iba yung experience nila. Kasi iba-iba yung character. Yung ugali.
I have a part to play in it.
Completely random.
Oh, I guess this means everyone will find out about my crush now.
But, of course, you will know then how people will abuse
I
that to
came
a
here
degree.
because I wanted to give some Cecilias to the girl I love.
Yun ang danger
They'll
dun.
really suit her.
How do you limit it?
She's-
No one asked. Please, do not subject us to your gushing about your girlfriend.
You saw right through me.
You said you need clues, right? Well, in that case, Mona Magistus the astrologist will provide you with a personally handwritten letter. Just wait for it to show up in your mailbox.
you can be on your way now. We won't keep you any longer.
Alright, then let's head back for now and meet up with everyone else.
Will do. This is all so embarrassing. Thank you both.
That's true. That's true. Well, on that note, ano na lang yan. I'd say yung AI, bawal talaga pure AI. Yeah, because if you let loose the AI, something will go wrong. I wouldn't say the word paradox, but I'd say the word abuse. That's more the problem here. Yeah, it opens a whole new world of abuse. Uh-oh. Where am I going? Yeah, but there's definitely one thing that I'm really looking forward to is yung AI voice on how they read yung script nila. Sobrang massive benefit for the writers kasi. Pero it's kind of a threat for voice actors kasi almost all the entire script ng mga NPC is so well done. Practically tao na yung nagsasalita. That's one 100% sure thing that's gonna happen.
We're back! Oh,
Yung voiceovers will be mostly AI in the near future.
welcome back. Did everything go well? Yep, we managed to find and talk to everybody.
We got back a little early, so we took some time just now to put the mailbox together. We got really lucky today. The vendors were feeling super generous, so we didn't even need to pay for the materials. It's just a shame that Kale got a splinter.
Don't worry about me. I'm used to working in the rainforest. I get splinters all the time. I've already taken care of it.
We've already wrapped up everything on our to-do list for today, so all we need to do now is wait for everyone's letters to arrive. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you get some rest while I keep an eye on the mailbox?
You're definitely your master's student, Sucrose. As long as you or Albedo are around, Paimon can relax and know that everything's taken care of.
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
Wait. Actually, there's one thing that still needs taken care of. Paimon's starving.
I'll go with Sucrose to return the leftover materials to the vendors.
You two, go get a proper meal. We can't have anyone going hungry.
Yeah, now would be a good time for a break. Once everything is ready, let's meet up here again and collate all the information we've gathered.
Sounds like a plan.
Did you hear what happened?
Nah, it's possible, pero it's been tackled so much na people will not allow that from the very first, from the get-go as much as possible. Kasi it's really, really proven to be bound
Ooh, and this one.
for grounds of insanity when it comes to sa AI. Because people are already abusing yung not real AI. We're talking like standard AI, standard intelligence basically. So it's more like responding collection of all ng experiences na from interaction with people, and people are abusing it. And in the end, it's already obvious na grounds talaga. It goes straight for insanity. It's not plausible
Paimon's also ordering.
sa current lifetime natin to have actual legit AI. Especially if they make the mistake na AI is able to self-replicate, which it can do. It can just form itself as a virus and then wala na. By tinapay.
Ooh, Paimon is super full.
Is everything packed up and ready? What do you think about meeting up at 5 to go to my house?
Yes.
Nah, that's not, ChatGPT psychologist, not healthy, man. Not healthy. Yeah. I'm sure someone out there is already doing that.
Look, we've known
Because it's been proven that ChatGPT lies. So if your psychologist lies to you, then you're gonna have issues.
I must remember to get some milk today on my way home. Please, feel free to pay a visit to Cat's Tail anytime.
Enjoying the scenery?
Oh, Tone Deaf Bard! Are you here for some food as well?
Oh, I can put something on your tab? Well, that's a pity. I already had a few drinks before coming here. I shall take you up on your kind offer another day. There should be no shortage of opportunities in the future. Anywho, you should be getting ready to thank me. I come bearing good news.
What kind of good news?
Behold!
What is it?
It's what you need the most right now. The answer to the
There's one thing I'm kind of sure that's going to happen in regards to ChatGPT. If you remember, nung sa panahon natin, nung ancient times,
Simply head to the location
Yung-
marked on the map and you'll find the lantern you've been looking for.
small assistant sa corner ng desktop,
If I were you, I would
more than
build
likely,
a secret
Windows
network.
magkakaroon nun.
As you've seen, a lot of people have been laboring hard to uncover the answer. A secret is like a well-aged brew.
Ask a real person she claims to be.
Sweetest when revealed in the company of friends. Then it's settled. I'll leave you to your business for now. Feel free to find me for a chat again once you're done working through the prophecy.
Yeah, again,
Also, if you have some time, we could organize another fast-track look.
touchy subject. Because it's bound to happen.
I sure am. Nobody else has signed up this year, though, so the duty to learn falls on you. Anyway, see you later.
Venti always looks so relaxed whenever we run into him. Paimon.
Yeah, because you can really using AI and ChatGPT for all sorts of things. A worst case scenario, it will be abused by scammers.
Oh, who are you?
You may call me Scarlet. Just like you, I'm a traveler visiting Mondstadt from another land. Mind if I buy you a drink? Leaving the door open for another time, I see. I can tell that you've dealt with a lot of people during your travels.
You can tell? Well, we are very experienced adventurers after all.
I can. That's why I tried to strike up a conversation with you in the first place. I was on my way to go shopping earlier when I overheard your conversation next to the crafting bench. From what I could gather, you were trying to investigate a bizarre...
Most recent gameplay, Medieval Dynasty. Oh, is it done na ba? Is it finished? Last I checked Medieval Dynasty, it was still early access. As in, walang ending.
you a favor. If and when you manage to unravel the answer to the prophecy, could you let me know what it is? Not so much the prophecy.
What's that experience so far?
Mondstadt as a nation. That's what I'm interested in. I was born in a distant land, but I have family and friends who once lived in Mondstadt for a long time. They said that it's a great place full of fairy tales and romance and recommended that I come for a visit. As it happens, someone I know has an anniversary coming up soon, so I figured this would be a good time to come here and see all the sights that she once saw.
What do you think about Mondstadt so far?
It certainly lives up to its name as the city of romance and freedom.
We think so too.
So, about the prophecy. Thank you. You're very friendly. It's been a real pleasure to meet you. I'll leave it to you then. Hope you continue to enjoy the
It's a glorified farm villa. Yeah, agreed. Technically, it is. How do I say it?
Dressed like a local, huh?
They tried nag-implement ng... Oh my god, I forgot the name. There's a game. I forgot the name of the game. RimWorld. They tried to RimWorld, cross it with RimWorld with... Yeah, Farmville in 3D in medieval times.
Please find me a flower.
But unfortunately, since I'm just judging from the last time I saw it,
Find me one who would know
content is lacking in terms of going beyond just surviving. Not much to do after that one.
have someone secretly following me, even in a free city like Mondstadt. Good day to you, miss.
Yeah, originally when I saw that game, I was kind of hoping that it's kind of... There's a chance for you to like really build a kingdom from the ground up to the point like building castles and armies and whatnot. But so far, I mean, I haven't seen it for a while, but yeah. It's kind of just, like I said, a glorified farm bill. Just making a basic homestead, setting up the storage houses, planting the vegetables, staring at them grow. You're literally watching grass grow. Yeah.
Those that come across Leo tend to stay a while.
Yeah, that's... I wouldn't say alpha completely. I think it's like midway early access or some sort. That's what I remember. Wait till next morning, 8 to 12. Got you. Managing stocks, yep. I mean, it's fine. I like the idea of managing a village as long as I kind of have a higher goal on top of that short-term goal. Like there's a short and then there's a long. I'm building this village so I can take over the rival kingdom on the opposite side of the mountain. That kind of setup, that's kind of my thing. Instead of just, indefinitely farming carrots. It's fun for the first couple cycles, but after quite a few, I'm like, start questioning why I'm doing this. Not that stage yet? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, once you experience Arc and or Atlas, you kind of really set a very high bar. Yeah, because like in Atlas...
Let's go meet Sucrose and Kale.
Oh, you haven't played with us in Atlas, right? Only in Arc. Yeah. Like for example, okay, if you're familiar with Atlas, I like the feeling building up a base, but you're not kind of like closed in on one singular island, one single map. You can actually travel through hundreds, so that's a very big thing for me. Where my sense of progression is really broad.
Traveler, Paimon, great timing. We got a lot of letters.
Ticks a lot of boxes.
And I just finished sorting them into 4 groups.
Nice work.
Well, the real work hasn't even started.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I got a grinding itch in me. Farming, grinding itch. As long as the tick box for the higher goal gets checked. I will do it. I can go hardcore on it. Played with me with Unturned, right? You remember how I do things. Pull up insane grinding stunts if I have to. Take a look at the clue board and read the letters. What's a clue board? Oh, that's a clue board. Oh god. It's a puzzle. Is that good? Stop a couple of seasons after ceremonial haircutting of your hair. Wow. Let me guess, it's a ceremonial bowl cut. Oh my god. Right, what do we do?
Let me quickly summarize what we found out about a flower.
Yeah, but here's a magical question, kids. How many hours have you sunk into the game before you realize that you're going nowhere?
His answer would be better discussed at length in person.
That's the magical question there.
I think a clock in the shape of a flower would constitute one that is not of this world.
Here's what we've gathered regarding a guide who will never get lost. Mona said that she'd like to join us in uncovering the secret behind the prophecy, while Bennett suggests Fischl, Mona, or the Traveler as potential candidates. Mika didn't submit much, but he did draw a vegetation map for Master Tainari and wrote up a dragon spotting calendar for Sino. Amber also wrote in. She said that she sees herself as nobody's guide, but everybody's friend.
As for one who would never lie, Rosaria removed herself from consideration, but both Razor and Sino are willing to support us in our search. Timaeus seems to have forgotten to write to us.
And finally, this is what we've gathered on a legend that never ends. Klee said that her mom has a number of friends who like to write storybooks. Lisa believes that legends live forever in people's hearts. I think that for a legend to be never-ending, it has to be filled with hopes and dreams and actively passed from one person to the next.
So, what are the answers to the 4 riddles then?
You're really smart, Paimon. I bet you can figure it all out in no time.
Or, let's all share our thoughts on what we think the answers might be.
Oh no. Is this a puzzle?
Wait for me!
Oh, Timaeus! What brings you here?
I'm sorry, I really am. The time just got away from me and I didn't get around to writing that letter. However, I'm happy to announce that I think I can be the one who would never lie.
Huh? This is kinda sudden. Not that we don't trust you, Timaeus, but, could you elaborate a little after you catch your breath?
Of course. Do you still remember the time I, collaborated with a certain Miss Ying-ar? Well, basically, she helped me out a lot with my research into potion making once, and, well, we've stayed in touch through letters ever since.
Wait, so Ying-ar is the girl from Liyue that Sucrose mentioned earlier? We always assumed you were hard at work every time we saw you at the crafting bench. So you've just been writing letters to Ying-ar the whole time?
No, I mean, not all the time. I've done some work too. And anyway, our correspondence covers a lot of serious topics, like perfumes, potions, alchemy. Anyway, a few months ago, I made a vow to the heavens that I will be true to myself and never utter an insincere word until the day that I've managed to win Miss Ying-ar's heart.
So, at Star Snatch Cliff, you were picking Cecilia's as a gift for Ying-ar?
Well, that's right. The Cecilia flower is said to represent a once wayward heart transformed by the power of love. I couldn't think of a better flower to give than that. I know full well that Miss Ying R is far more knowledgeable than I in both the ways of the world and the ways of our craft, but I thought I should make the effort for once and put myself out there. Which brings me to the subject of the last few days and the Windbloom Festival. I thought it was time for me to invite Miss Ying R to Mondstadt. But yesterday, Albedo told me that Sucrose has been working hard to help another girl achieve her dream.
Huh?
And when I went to take a look at our roster, I saw that she'd done my remaining work for me. I feel incredibly guilty. I've been spending all of my time in my own fantasy world while everyone else has been bending over backwards to help other people. How could I ever hope to be worthy of Miss Ying R's love if I'm so selfish?
Oh, Timaeus.
And that's why I've decided to join you.
But then what about Ying R?
Yeah. Haven't you been planning this for over a month now? You said you were going to invite her to Mondstadt.
Well, yes. I did mention in my letters that I'd like her to
What's that, goods? There's a little bit of a delay. Have broken NPCs. This whole village should happily trade on Silvermanure. Well, technically, that is kind of gold for them, if you think about it. Because if you don't got the fertilizers for the season, you die. So you better buy them all.
All I can do now is hope that she'll understand. Point being, please know that I sincerely want to support you in this endeavor. Plus, I think I'm an honest person. As far as I recall, I don't think I've told a single lie in my life.
Well, you certainly convinced Paimon with that speech. Don't worry, Timaeus. We won't let your determination go to waste.
Thank you, Timaeus.
Ah, thank you, everyone. I promise to do everything I can to help.
Okay, so it looks like we found our one.
That's a good question.
Great, let's keep it up. On to the other.
Should've. But here's a question here for you. So I'm not familiar with how it works.
We have
Do they decide it on their own, or do you set a slider or something to limit it?
Timaeus. Huh? Why did you only say Timaeus' name? You should say my name.
Right?
All right. We also have Klee.
You're supposed to be the lord or something, right? So you can kind of program how they spend their economy.
We're getting ready for a field trip.
There's nothing wrong with a more relaxed atmosphere, is there? Of course. We will soon see if my hypothesis has any merit.
Actually, I'm still feeling a little nervous.
Me too.
But weren't you all fired up just a moment ago?
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's do this.
Actually, I'm a little worried too. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
I know what you're feeling. Saying anything becomes so much harder when there are so many people watching.
Well, does anyone know the exact location of where we're headed, or should I do a reading on my scry glass?
According to the prophecy, once we figured out the answer, we should test it at the Lantern of Utmost Joy. Wait, but where is this lantern? Oh, we know something about that.
What? Wow, that's amazing. You really know how to do everything under the sun.
Then we'll let you lead the way.
This is it! We're off to find the sacred location of the Lantern of Utmost Joy!
Well, you can kind of blame that for the devs. I mean, NPCs are only as smart as the guy that programmed them to be. That's his fault. But again, why are we talking about manure?
Let me take a look.
Yeah, but here's a question. Where do you invest the silver after you do that?
Aww. I don't see any lanterns.
Where does it go?
Now that I think about it,
Do you earn a profit, or are you just kind of having a never-ending,
joy actually looks like, right?
what do you call that?
We've overlooked something.
Rotation?
Traveler, are you trying to figure out something else from the paper?
Yeah, the idea for medieval dynasties, it sounds good on paper, and for people new to the genre, it will be fun. But if you played enough games, you start seeing where the gaps are. That's a main comment I got when I'm looking at the game. Well, back in the day when I was. Yeah, because back in Day and the Hey of Day is I used to play medieval management games like Lords of the Realm way back in the 90s. So my standards are kind of high bar.
The wind is blowing.
Perhaps too high bar.
Wind current. Let's write it up and see where it leads us.
You're more richer than the king that sends a clown to beg.
Can someone
Is that legit?
with them?
Here.
Is that a real thing? Investigate the floating island.
This is the first time I've ever flown like this!
How did this little island get up here in the sky? Did somebody make it?
Just to be safe, I've been jotting down our entire route here. This way, no one will get lost.
Oh, good thinking, Kale. Who would have thought we'd find this kind of table here?
Personally, I call that the king's extortion.
I never would have guessed that such a place could exist.
Give me stuff or else.
Too.
Wow, look at that pretty lantern on the table.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Chair for each side of the lantern, too.
There seems to be something on the back of this chair. Let me have a closer look. Take your seat, present your answers, and you shall reach enlightenment. Well, as far as instructions go, I guess that's simple enough.
So we just need to do as it says, right?
Wait a second.
Huh? What is it, Albedo?
We'd better make sure this place is safe before taking our seats. Everyone, please stay clear for a moment.
The guy have soldiers or a squad? Well, normally they wouldn't until you give them a reason. For example, if you kick their jester out, then you just gave them the license to kick your ass. You see the setup there?
Everything seems to be fine. I didn't find any traps or suspicious.
That's how they get you.
But I also couldn't find any overt destructive devices.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, it seems that wrong answers won't have any catastrophic consequences. Looks like we'll have to sit on these chairs and fulfill the prophecy. Everyone, I would like to suggest that we try some risky answers on our first attempt. Let's reserve our most confident answers for the second round.
That sounds kind of smart. But what?
Are you sure it's a clown or is it the tax collector?
If we
They kind of sound different. Same different. The same.
I see. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, the jester.
Mona, is there something wrong? You're not looking too good. Oh, are you hungry? I brought some snacks.
Thank you for offering Klee, but that's not quite it. While Albedo was checking just now, I gave my scryglass a spin hoping to find some information. But there's a strange aura to this place. It's almost as if someone has been staring at me as soon as we stepped foot in here. But if nothing here has actually been physically tampered with, then no. Could that person be...
What do you mean, Mona? Who could it be?
Never mind. It's not like I've got any proof.
Don't leave us on the edge like this, Mona.
I'll just do what Albedo said.
Yes, let's test the hypothesis together, Klee.
Come on, join us, Mona.
Oh, all right.
Okay, then I'll answer the first question. If someone were to ask me to find a flower that is not of this world...
You can do it, Sucrose.
Then I would fetch a tetragenic sweet flower.
Alright, I'm up next. My part of the prophecy is to find a guide who will never get lost.
Kale, I hope you found your answer.
My answer is that I will be that guide. For a long time, I have been guided by others. It's taken me a while, but I finally made it to where I am today. Although I still haven't made a name for myself, and I'm still quite immature,
Kingdom Come Deliverance. Oh, I wanted to try that game
I would
before.
like to become a guide that can help others.
Currency
I
Wall.
want to help others the same way Amber, Master Tynar...
That one you finish until you hit the currency wall, so you actually finish the storyline?
gift that I've been given.
Is that what you're saying? Well, I don't get the currency wall.
All right, it's up to
What
me
does
to
that
answer
mean?
the third part. I'll submit myself as one who would never lie. Although I've never really had any other virtues or talents, I'm confident that I've always been an honest person. I'd like to thank everyone, too, for giving me this opportunity to validate myself.
And last but not least, I will answer the final part of the prophecy. There's no tale more befitting the title of a legend that never ends than our fates as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
The lantern just lit up. Whoa! All four sides of the lantern are glowing.
What about the expansion?
Kale, could I ask you to stand up for a second?
Oh, alright.
Huh? What's going on? What?
Oh, okay, got you.
Sitting in the chair. Didn't it say we have to answer all the questions correctly?
It's pretty clear now, isn't it? We've just proven that there is no right answer for this prophecy.
No right answer? But how could that be?
Yeah, that's kind of a given, man.
Instructions had come from an old and enigmatic prophecy. It is in fact nothing like the ancient mechanism that...
Wait, I'm kind of curious. What difficulty did you finish the game with?
Serves as a simple...
People tell me it's pretty hard, so... I'm surprised.
I never expected you to actually find this place.
How long was the campaign?
What? There's someone else here?
We meet again, traveler.
Hey! You're that Outlander we met the other day at Good Hunter!
It's all thanks...
All wants to take and not further advance the main storyline inside Storm 100. You sure it's a DLC? Maybe you just missed the quest, because as far as what I've been reading is the fact that the game has one entire main quest, main storyline.
Following in your shadow.
You can ignore the side quests. And you can actually finish it, right?
There's no need for...
So there is a legit ending for the game without the DLCs, without needing them.
Is it just because I'm a visitor from abroad?
I was there when you snuck your way into Marjorie's place.
Huh. So you had your eyes on me even then, huh? That was 2 whole weeks ago, you know.
It's hard not to notice you when I'm on duty every day.
All right. In that case, I'll admit it. I was the person who slipped this prophecy into the storybook.
Huh? But why? Then,
Does that mean this wasn't a real prophecy after all?
Don't worry. Even though you probably have plenty of reservations about me, you can be sure that the prophecy is genuine. In fact, many of you here today may have heard the code name of the one who left the prophecy to me. She hailed from an ancient assembly of powerful women, each of whom used a single letter to signify themselves.
Who would have guessed? It seems that power was indeed left behind by the old hag after all.
Ah, so you're Beast student. It's an honor to meet you. I am Scarlet, the successor of Jay.
Well, what are you talking about?
It's a long story, but I'm not quite sure that I'm the best person to tell it. Since you've all spent so much
It's
time
not
here
complete,
deciphering the prophecy,
and they finished the story on road you can't traverse, like the edge. So either oh, got you. So it's a cliffhanger.
please allow me to disturb your happy peace.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I might try that game sometime.
Why did this little thing just light up?
Let's go easy on the possible spoilers. But yeah, no problem what you said so far.
Oh, I hear.
Yeah, so it's a cliffhanger story. Got you. No problem.
Scarlet, the successor of Jay.
Oh, since we've last gathered, Jay's successor has already become so reckless and bold.
You like those kinds of games where you're like free roaming? I could recommend a few, but might be a little extreme.
Who would dare say that? Is that Mona?
Who are you? Who dares imitate?
Have you tried the Elex games? ELEX.
Imitation and mimicry.
And also the...
Fool's errand
What's
to
the other
mimic
one?
and learn from humanity.
Oh, Dallas, I'm here too.
Mom, why are you trying to talk like other people?
So I see everyone's here. Well then, my warmest greetings, everyone.
Miss Alice, why would you...
Well,
Yep.
it's been
Good call on that one. Oh yeah,
Blame me for thinking that
Outward. Have you ever played the game Outward? Yeah, because if you like games like Kingdom Deliverance, those two are kind of in the same spectrum. More on Outward.
Heir of the Animal Archon Barbados. You must be commended for uncovering an artifact entrusted to the god of wind himself. Tell me, are you sitting around?
Yep, Outward. It's the same kind of RPG, a little bit on the survival, just like Kingdom Come Deliverance, except it's in third person,
Granted you entry to this
and it's got magic in it.
all of this Scarlet's doing.
But in terms of experience, they're kind of on par. You got open world, and you got kind of hardcore melee combat going on.
Alice, would it be alright to leave the explanation of that to you?
In third person, of course.
Well, you should be rewarded for making it all the way up here and activating the lantern. Now then, let me tell you a long and ancient story.
Hmm?
Heard of the Hexen Circle? As the
What do you mean?
suggests, it's a secret society. Once upon a time, it even challenged the Animal Archon himself. But he replied, "Let us make music, not war, and resolve our conflicts through song." From then on, the mages would only ever convene in the woods, in the skies, or on the edges of cliffs. At these tea parties, they discussed their stories and secrets and resolved their differences, as the tea and cakes bore witness to their pledge never to fight amongst themselves.
Yesterday I snuffed out the life of my beloved.
I see. Got you.
Extremely sick. He loved me dearly, so I...
Well, if that's the case, I could think about it. I can remember another game that's in first person.
I'm raising a son. Of all the children I had, he's the only one left. But I suppose that still makes me a mother.
My lifespan is nothing compared to yours, so I wish to leave you with my storybook. Actually, maybe you can pass it on to your children one day. Oh,
This looks interesting. Let me scry.
My dear sisters, we mustn't let prophecies threaten our bonds of friendship. Even the most frightening witch was once a little girl, and growing up can be so tough. Sometimes we all need to vent our troubles to the wind. Even if the nations go to war, or the sky falls down, the mages' tea parties shall...
What happened when you tried Black Desert? Nope, never mentioned. Let me guess. You got stuck in the female character creator for hours, right?
And have tea.
Then what about the part saying that...
What's up, Lex? Welcome to the channel. Just going through the storylines, playing catch-up with Genshin. What's new?
I never expected anyone other than Jay to actually read the full contents of that prophecy. It's a little embarrassing. The truth is, that prophecy was actually just a letter that we sent to Jay as a group the day before her wedding.
So it was indeed written by all of you.
I must thank you for resisting the urge to immediately reveal the truth to everybody, Albedo. Knowing you, you probably figured out everything the moment you laid eyes on the message.
No, it took me a little longer than that.
A flower that is not of this world. A guide never get lost.
Yeah, I guess I know. I know what you're saying.
A legend that never ends.
What's my AR, Lex? You know what? That's a very good question. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Organization had to leave the group to spend the rest of her day.
I'll check it out after I
The other mages would write down this prophecy and send it
finish
to
this
her to invite
sequence.
her for a final get-together. A flower that is not of this world signifies, of course, flowers that do not naturally exist in this world. This is the signature of our full name, Rhine-daughter, also known as Gold. If there's anyone in this world who could create a flower species...
As far as I know, I pretty much always max out my AR. I do not remember what's the current cap. I haven't consciously thought about it for a while.
You may not have encountered her yet, but she is a truly extraordinary woman who has made this world's direction and order her subject of study. Some of you may be fortunate enough to have already heard her voice. Like a prophetess, she will only speak to guide people toward the truth when a change has occurred in the world. She has a tendency to suddenly speak in someone's mind without any warning. If one day you would be unfortunate enough to run into a truly dangerous situation, she may use her voice to guide the way forward for you.
Who would have guessed that there are so many mysterious women in this world and that they would all know each other?
The one who would never lie is me. I hope no one would take offense. It's just that I, Alice, or A for short, have always had a soft spot for those with sincerity and candor. As for a legend that never ends, you may not know M in person, but you've likely encountered one of her works. Have any of you ever read The Boar Princess?
Huh? I'm pretty sure every child in Mondstadt has read that book.
It's also one of my favorite stories. M was an exceptional human writer who used her prose to teach me the meaning of grief. Don't you think such a person would deserve a seat at the mage's table?
Paimon's getting more and more lost.
It may sound hard to believe, but I can attest to everything that Alice has said. Jay was also a mortal who aged and passed on, leaving her title to her students and followers.
This is one long story time.
Never acknowledged any of Jay's successors. It's now been centuries since the first of us took on her mantle. I've always wanted to meet you.
Do you also want to become a mage?
Title aside, I think I'm more interested in the meaning and purpose of the Hexen Circle. I used to think that the Hexen Circle was a group of women who could control the very fate of this world. But now, I've seen for myself that besides Jay, many other ordinary people were also among you.
Do you think less of us now?
No, not at all. My interest has been piqued, and I'm now even more drawn towards the idea of becoming a mage.
You're right. I've never acknowledged any of Jay's successors, but you are different. You are much more fascinating than—
Yeah, good. I'm sure it is, man.
Has someone finally peaked?
Yeah, you kind of always say that with any game. Let's just play around with the character creation.
out for a meeting. I want you to tell me all about Jay's married life back in her hometown.
Well, just imagine when you get your hands on an Unreal Engine game and a UE 5 game. You're not gonna get past the first creation screen for quite a while.
The letter could have been interpreted. She would have known what we meant as soon as she saw the message. We were just asking one thing of her. Please come to see us again. Before you go and settle forever with your happiness, please come share some of it with your best friends and sisters.
So, the Supreme Blessing actually meant...
All journeys are fleeting and will eventually come to an end. What will give us the most fulfillment and happiness in the end are those who will greet us at our journey's destination. Dear child, I believe you can also understand what I am talking about. We women will always...
I advocate listening to the storyline, but they're kinda overdid it for this one.
No matter how hard things may become, we will cross mountains.
I think this is like a 15 or 20 minute
regardless of how many
cutscene here.
Or how far the distance may be. As long as we can be with our beloved friends, our hearts will be filled with joy. To us mages, that's what being supremely blessed is all about.
Oh. I still don't get it, but I do know that all the mages are Mom's best friends.
If you ask how I see it, the Hexen Circle is just a group of ladies that I spent my youth with. Anyway, I'll introduce some of the other members to you all later. I still have a few things to attend to, so this will have to do for today.
Bye, Mom! Todoko says bye, too!
Goodbye, darling, and farewell to all of our other friends as well. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Oh, now that I think of it, isn't it getting close to that time of year?
Yes, it's Windbloom again, Alice.
It's also a special anniversary date. I'm sure you still remember.
Yes, I do remember now. It was on this day many, many years ago that Jay tied the knot. Oh, just in time for the Festival of Love and Freedom. Everyone, please enjoy this year's Windbloom Festival to the fullest.
It's I guess.
Albedo, why didn't you tell me we'd have to glide all the way back down?
Just started your day? Oh. You went full vampire mode now, huh? Okay, wait, one sec. What's my AR? There it is. 60. 60. I think this is the max for now. I'm not sure. Oh. Oh yeah, it is. 60. Big 60. Yeah, honestly, my time, I'm kind of torn. Because I'm really trying to finish all the story backlogs. Because I stopped playing for a month or two. I'm torn between finishing this and playing something. So you gotta finish all of these games soon.
Are you okay, Tomatoes?
I got a time limit.
Maybe you'd feel better if you just, you know.
Is that good? You got new project you work on?
Fine. I'm just
same mushroom.
a little glider.
Same mushroom. So Alex, she's been playing the game for a long time.
It might prove helpful.
Yes.
Okay.
But the joke is, I was kind of like about
Something on your mind.
a week or two late when Genshin first released. And then I've been kind of religiously playing the game. And then stopped
Really interesting and romantic.
when it kind of started dragging.
But still,
Yeah, I remember there's a time where Genshin content kind of experienced a drought. That was before Inazuma. Yeah. I slowed down when Inazuma got released.
Don't say that.
So what I do is I play Genshin by batch.
Honestly,
Like I let 8 hours worth of content build up first before I come back again. Just to stop myself from burning out.
If anything, it should be my fault for finding that prophecy.
Oh, no. I didn't mean to blame the two of you either. I just feel like this whole adventure didn't really end on a high note, and we also didn't really get anything out of it.
But I'd say we still learned something new. Well,
Why? Why? What about you, Lex? What's your AR?
apologize to Yingar, right? Do you want?
Are you in the high 30s or 40s? Are you the big 6-0 also?
I mean, I just really don't want her to get mad at me. Now that I've come back to my senses, I really don't know what I should do.
Hey, you three?
I guess say project's just a job. Look out for a game like Cookie Cutter, Idle, Auto, Click. The urge game, see progress with hero. Oh god. Not much on the Auto, Click. Closest one I could imagine that you could try.
And she actually came all the way to
Oh wow, my memory is going south. Forgot the name again.
Sorry, Miss Yingar, but how did you... I mean...
Are you so happy just to see me?
Well, of course I am. I'm so happy that, I don't, sorry, I don't know what to say.
I was ready to give you a harsh scolding, but now that I've seen you like this, I suppose I could let you off the hook this time.
Well, there's a lot of Auto, Click games that
Because of a
does not have crypto. If that's what you're pertaining to.
find you instead.
Should we go see how they're doing?
Well, I wouldn't. You'll get hit by a forest boar if you interrupt a couple's romantic.
I forgot which one.
Oh, really? We'll just leave them alone then.
Come on, kids. I mean, there will always be pay to win. The reason that it's an idle game, it's really designed because people play those games because they are impatient in the first place. They don't want to play the game in the first place, so they're easily swayed to be, invest into even more automations. That's what it's legit designed for.
Without any expectations in return.
You're not gonna find much for real.
Much alike.
I still feel like you have a much bigger
Honest
But if you say that,
competitiveness in terms of those auto clicker games.
brave or tenacious as you,
They're designed to be predatory.
positive qualities, they're just spread over different parts of our personalities. I've never visited Sumeru or made many friends from outside of Mondstadt. I'm happy just to have met and become your friend. Maybe I'll get shy and flustered when I meet other people I don't know in the future. But that's okay too. Since we are so...
I'm gonna try and remember that game.
probably get what I'm trying
It's
to
a little hero something.
You just need to believe that all of your issues aren't really issues at all.
But isn't it too late now for me to learn to accept myself?
Well... Do you know anything about the blooming cycles of Cecilius?
Yeah, I played that one for a while. Wow. Memory's gone.
That's a topic that my parents used to talk about back when they were still dating. Surprising, right? To think that people would talk about that while on a date. My mom brought it up at dinner one time last month. She called my dad the most boring man she knew, and said that he even turned up late to a date once, all with a smile on her face. But she also said that learning is just another part of life. It's never too late to start something, as long as you recognize that it's something good for you to do. Why don't you give it a try, Kale?
Okay, I'll try my best. They are really having a great conversation.
Yeah, if I can remember what the title was. Because as far as I know, it's kind of like an adventure-y auto-clicker. If I remember the title.
This is for you. This texture. Are these seeds? Yep. I believe I mentioned my sweet flower research to you before. These are the seeds of the sweet flower cultivars that I've worked on. It's nothing too special, but they're the best cultivars that I've made. So, I really hope that you'll like them. They're super sweet and easy to grow and keep.
Oh, this might be it.
My wind blooms for this year. I wish that the
AFK Arena?
lovely they are. Thank you.
I'm not sure, it's been a while. But it kind of looks familiar.
Please take these notes with you.
Yeah, have you seen AFK Arena?
In your studies. So I've prepared some study materials for you at Sucrose's request. Feel free to look through them whenever you can find the time. Mondstadt's doors will always remain open to you.
Thank you so much. Really, I don't know what to say. I'm just really happy.
Ah, Sucrose, now's your chance. Didn't you want to collect a breath of joy?
You're right. I almost forgot. Kale, can you exhale once into this test tube? I will save this breath of joy.
Oh yeah, there's also another game you could try. It's called Last Claudia.
Of course.
It's literally like a Final Fantasy RPG. In kinda idle-ish form. Ish. Like real short trips, just like you want. You get the spelling? Let me type that out for you.
Huh? What was that? It was like a little cloud of happiness, and now it flew away. Well, luckily there's still some breath left in the test tube. I'll seal it up for now. I'll keep working on it and let you know as soon as I have any breakthroughs in my research. Yeah, you can write to me. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I receive your letter.
Oh, it looks like you found a new pen pal.
Master Tainari! Sino!
If your friendship was forged in a test tube, does that make you test friends forever?
That's it. I think you've ruined Sumeru's reputation in Mondstadt beyond all hope of repair.
All that matters is that I've enjoyed Mondstadt immensely. The dragon here possesses a majestic form.
Oh, that reminds me. Traveler, this card back is for you. Sino wanted you to have one for yourself. If I had to guess, I'd say he probably wants you to use it if you challenge him to—
Not surprised, huh?
I'm a master of the game. Do you dare challenge me?
Can you believe it?
Well, try out Last Claudia. Might probably end up the same way as the AFK Arena thing. Let's start.
Wait, I've got something to give you too.
Huh? Kali has a gift for us?
Yeah, check that one out.
Yeah, I figured I should follow local Mondstadt customs and prepared a few small things themed after the Windbloom Festival. I made these bookmarks from Sumeru roses at the hotel. I want to give them to Amber, Master Tainari, and Sino. During Windbloom, Mondstatters offer flowers to the people most important to them. You three are family to me.
But Tainari said that we're not anything like an academic family. He wouldn't write joint papers with us.
Well, in this case, we can consider ourselves as regular siblings. And that should be just fine.
I agree. Oh, and here are some Padisara seeds as well. These are for the Traveler, Paimon, and everyone else from Mondstadt.
Whoa, are these really for us?
So, are these your chosen Windblooms? Mm-hmm, one of them. Both Padisauras and Sumeru roses are my Windblooms. Although they're not native to Mondstadt, they are the flowers that can best express my feelings. I want to give them to the people I feel thankful for. To those who I wish to accompany as we greet more seasons and future Windblooms together. The real blessing in life is when you are surrounded by people who you'd miss day and night,
and who you'd want to see even if that meant crossing mountains and oceans to do so.
I'm so happy to hear you say that.
Sucrose, do you see that cloud over there?
Huh?
Doesn't it look...
No comment. That's as far as I can say. Okay, let's just go. Okay, got you. Oh, oof. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, it's done. Finally. Right. Moving on. Where's the... Oh. Yep. Yeah, check out Last Claudia. There was another game that kind of looks like it. I forgot again. Yeah, memory is not working recently, so I need to fix that. But yeah, it's a Final Fantasy-esque idle game. Not super idle, but idle enough.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're back.
Check it out.
Are these two
Tell me what you think.
Oh, so you've already become like one of us then? Well, that's good to know. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. But it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the Khan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
Was that good? GTX. Oh, sure, no problem, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'll probably go in roughly about maybe 15 minutes more or something. It depends. I'm just gonna try and finish this storyline. It's gonna take too long. I'm probably gonna hit the hay myself.
It sounds mighty strange to me too. Haroon, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say though, I didn't expect you to...
No problemo. See you around. See you again. I'm gonna try and stream a little bit more regularly now. My schedule took a hit, but
it was nothing.
I'm figuring things out.
About the situations you are. The Khan al-Ahmar
Stay safe out there.
After all.
See you again.
He said. Besides, Dia, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined? What we did is nothing compared to your experiences.
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from him. Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with them?
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever he goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh, in that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dia.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the traveler here. Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment though. You're our brigade's main selling point after all. Now if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homayanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holof? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dakan al-Akhmar's looted goods. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dia.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
No need to worry. He knows his way around a fight.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. After all, we still need to get information out of them. Here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly. Let's get it on!
I will have order. I'll be back.
You're the Flame Bane.
Good. That saves me an introduction. Alright, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
Ha! That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes? You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds!
I'll save you the trouble.
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies. I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
But why would he be so extreme?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered. Perhaps, but they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family? Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazamon Homayani is Dunyarzad's father and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry, you're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakana Lakmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakan al-Akhmar?
That's a possibility, but if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shazamon as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Rebat or Port Ormos. Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past, but that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would stoop so low to make Mora. You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakan al-Akhmar.
Dia, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility, but even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City. We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that, yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, Dunyarzad, we're back! So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can. My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while. In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dia?
About that. Well, the Homiyanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dia into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dia to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homiyani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homiyani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Dia.
It's all right, Dia. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope! What was that thing about friendship again? Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dia! Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts!
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, Could you ask the master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place? Ah, right!
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to him is his travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
So that's what you found? Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, dear, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me, and I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price, and sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homiyani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyazad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyazad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dia.
So he was the one who recommended Dia to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dia as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always send me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude, and that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dakan al-Akhmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dia at risk. That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no. Dia, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed.
He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private. This place should do. Alright, back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait, there's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakan al-Akhmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city. Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Tia, why are you here?
Attaboy!
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
This is order. Man! Oh, coming through!
No, she's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dia, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Akmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
Let me start from the beginning. Dia, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They call it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail. That's precisely it. Every one of us had a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dia and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dia, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, You probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end. There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it, but in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dia. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia? You want to go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah, Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Is this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here. Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
Happy to oblige. Coming to be. Attaboy. I'll take. Regret. I'll be back. Can't catch me. Stabilize. Burst forth. I'll take. Cade. Need. That's close enough. Solidify. Then charge. You want this one? Think you want this? I'll be back.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any traps!
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way! The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better!
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by—
Okay, let's go!
Coming to beat. Advance. Attaboy.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Stabilize! Pull in! Let's roll! Gather! Advance! Who wants some of this?
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side. But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory. Wave 1, charge! Eliminate them!
Oni coming through! I'll take my leave. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Don't think that you've won. You're just getting started. King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers. Brothers! With me, this is where we prove our faith.
Do you all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat!
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! So they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michel. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more!
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Mitchell.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
We were too late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, dear! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me!
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
So, This was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Tia.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dia's father used.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dia, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dia, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad. What's this?
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy. Hey, come on! Paimon's not that stingy. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Dunyarzad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me. Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites, all of us. Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Ah, there she is!
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dia, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
Dia, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
This rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk? Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I can take you all to a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Akhmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any moral was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. It kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
And here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dia. It's a letter for me? It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day, and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dia, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child. I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah, it's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. I just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.